War 10 of Season 44 versus LVT. I am bringing Stealthy Scorpion and Valkyrie just like last war. And just like last war, I am getting what I call the Fios Special, which is I die to a fight and he sends me right back to it. In all seriousness, it's a sign of confidence that I really appreciate, but doesn't make it any less nerve-wracking. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Ooze and John, who taught me how to not suck. It's a helpful thing that I finally got to learn in Masters, how not to suck. And here's the tutorial. Instead of heavying and creating 2 bad windows instead of 1, I'm not going to heavy. It's that simple. And here I back off just so I can get to a special without him getting to 1. And as you can see, now it's 1 damage window instead of 2. Damage meaning damage to me. And furthermore, the window starts when he's far away. So doubly good. And here I punish and I have to just put a slow on, and yeah, in theory the fight's basically over. I want to get this special 2 out of him, and he's not really throwing it. I do hit him into block a bunch because he's being really passive and not throwing a special, and I don't want to lose my debuffs. There I try to hit block, and I actually accidentally hit him, and he drains a little bit of his power, which is actually good for me. And finally he throws this. Note that I will not get degen because he just got reset back down to 0. So here I tap him, and that special is going to put him down to 1%. And then I can just hit him, and we're good to go. Okay, so that is that first fight down. Much better than last time, to say the least. And a much better strategy, so thanks again to Ooze and John. And also thank you to John for this fight as well. I said that I could take Stealthy with Nick Fury, and literally any of the 3 pre-fights would have worked. And I was leaning slow, and I chatted with John, and he agreed, mainly because it allows me to get more openings, and you'll see that very, very clearly here. So I'm going to do the same strategy. There I get the Fury, okay. Want to dash back to make sure I'm preserving my slow. Knock him down, okay. And here, I just throw my special. I have the crit. Want to make sure to dash back to pause, all that good stuff again. Okay. And here I make a mistake, not here, but here. I do a light ender to refresh my slow, and I leave him at 10 charges. Super stupid. If I had just done a medium, he'd be at 12, and he wouldn't go unblockable. Luckily, he does not throw a special attack, and I get out of it. And here's where I wanted the slow, by the way. But that was a bad play. I should have done a medium and been a little bit more conscientious about the charge control. So that was a mistake there, but I did not get punished for it. And I do make another similar mistake again. So, just a decent fight in terms of gameplay, but a few tactical mistakes, which is, it's not the end of the world, but it's something that you want to minimize. Here we go, and I decided to throw my special 2, and again, if I had just done one more hit, it wouldn't have been a problem. In this case, it was more I just wanted to get my special 2 off ASAP, but again, I left him at 11, which is pretty stupid. If I had just hit him one more time, yeah, unfortunate, but it is what it is, and again, I get away with it. Wouldn't have died either time from it, but definitely just not really what you want to see and not optimal. Regardless, I finished that fight off with no problems at all, and perfect. So section 1's down, and then I'm going to go into section 2, path 8, and I have a Dr. Doom, and I'm really excited about this Dr. Doom for one specific reason. I get to use my Synergy Boy, who happens to be one of, if not the best science in the game. I've never got to use Scorpion this season. He just, all the Mystics have Tactic, and he's not offensive Tactic, but this Mystic doesn't. So I get to use Scorpion versus Dr. Doom, and he finally gets to come off the bench and off the Synergy team and actually do a fight. So that's pretty cool. Game plan's pretty standard. I do have an Invul on just in case some stupid SP2 shenanigans happen. It's worth noting that when awakened, Scorpion can block unblockable special attacks when they are taunted. And so check this out. I'm just going to block this and not punish just because I don't know if I'm far enough away to be able to punish. Probably should have dueled to test it. And then you're going to see my strategy changes, and it's much better. I start dexing for a specific reason. First off, because I can. But second off, because I want that dex buff to give him more power. So check this out. I start part dexing so that I can take less damage, I can punish, and also I can give him that MD, and therefore he can get more power for the power stings. And so I think that definitely is the way. Alright, and here I should have just SP1'd and then blocked that SP2 if he didn't die from the power sting. But I was like, oh, I'll bait out the SP1 and get cute, and it did not work at all. So definitely a tactical mistake there, but doesn't really matter. He's still down in under a minute. So finally Scorpion does something useful besides having a really cool synergy. And here I have a Valkyrie versus Hulkling, and this is Rich Get Richer, and anyone who's ever used Valkyrie versus Rich Get Richer understands how incredibly potent she is. I actually saw this matchup from one of Wes's videos, who's in LVT. I'll leave the video link in the description if you want to see how it's actually done. So I knew it would work, and on paper, of course, it also just works really well. And you're going to see I make 2 mistakes here that compound against one another. Alright, here's the first... Is the first mistake coming up? We'll see. Yes, I accidentally hit him, so that's a buff. And I block, which is a second buff, which means no more power for me, so oops. But the way to combat that is to get a Bulwark and or just let them fall off. So it's not that big of a deal. Just bad gameplay, and of course, always got to point out when I suck and make mistakes. Alright, here we go. Now I'm back to getting power. Perfect. I just want him to block. Okay. And as you can see, look at that steady gain of power there. And so here I am ready. I'm fully ramped with my Pierce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a light ender into SP2, which should give me the Bulwark at some point. But it really doesn't even matter because this is basically going to kill. Drop that light and he blocks, which is perfect. So I combo and Hulkling is dead. I would have thrown my special one off that, so even if he had perfect blocked one of them, it wouldn't really matter. Alright. Then I have a couple minis and or shared fights. So the first one is Chavez using Stealthy. I do have a Wags, so my new infinitely improved game plan is not as needed, but it's still helpful. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that strategy again as well, which is to only knock down once. And you're going to see that come into play. Alright, she has physical resistance, by the way, so I guess maybe my damage is a little bit lower, but with Stealthy, you don't even really notice. Alright, so get the parry, perfect. Then I want to slow. Okay, Tactic is gone. Okay, get the slow, Fury's up. And I want to bait the special out of her, and if I recall, okay, she's not bad with this one. She, at some point, decides to be mean with specials. I don't know when that is. Here, I was hoping she wouldn't get a bar of power, so I abbreviated my combo, and that was correct. And here is where the Wags comes into play. I can parry nicely, which is cool. So here, I dash back, and then I do a slow combo. So I get the pause and the slow. Here's where she's annoying, I believe. Doesn't really feel like throwing specials, which is kind of fun. And then also, yeah, so she gets that power gain, which is kind of cool. Probably should have hit into her block so that I could wither her, but that's fine. From here on, she has pretty decent AI. There we go. Throws that special. And again, I don't want to knock down. I can use my Relic. So, do I use my Relic here? Dash back from the parry. Combo. Oh, I think I probably just want to bait the special one out. My fault. I thought I used the Relic, but I guess not. I would assume it's here then. So, combo into Relic, and bye-bye Chavez. So yeah, nothing hard about that fight, especially with Wags. There's very little that can go wrong. And then I have Valkyrie versus Hazard Shift, and of course, when you're doing Valkyrie versus Hazard Shift, it is usually Jessica Jones. Shout out to Josh for the Wags, by the way. And the concern versus Jessica Jones is always just you want to get her into the wall ASAP, and that's pretty much the whole game plan. I took this last war super easy. I do have Conflictor, but there is a Wags on, so if I do choose to parry, I can. Alright, here we go. She's not really blocking. There, I should have done a light to make her stop. Alright, there we go. She's finally blocking. I just want to get her in a corner. And she heavies, which is not good. She heavies again. And there she finally gets a solid block, so I can hit into that. Okay. She's putting me kind of in the corner. This is not really where you want to be, and I'm in the corner. When you're in the corner, it's really hard. So I do a medium to try to get her to block, but she doesn't. Since she does a special one, so I do the same thing, medium. Doesn't work. Okay, I just need her off me, and I can't do a heavy. The heavy's a bad idea, so I can't do a heavy, which sucks. So I'm just doing mediums, and I'm like, please, just get off me. She's not doing anything. She's just attacking me in the corner, heavies, and I'm trying to tap her just to see if I can get her back off, and she won't do it. Heavy again. Heavy. You see the theme here. There she finally blocks. So I put the hits into her. Then she throws a special, and I'm again back in the corner. Medium, medium. Hopefully she blocks. Drop this special. Okay, perfect. All she needs to do is just dash back and block, but she doesn't. If she had dashed back and blocked, I would have been able to get off the wall, but no. She instead runs into me. And here, at some point, I also get caught by a hit. She's just in the corner, refusing to ever dash back. I get caught by a 10k hit. Medium, medium again. Please block. And finally, she blocks. Okay. I have a chance to salvage this fight. It's really bad. I need her to block ASAP. And heavies again, which is nice. Okay. There I parry. And I have a new game plan, which is I'm going to throw my special 1 into her block. Hopefully that'll get her to do something for me. So here we go. And I'm a little bit late. I want you to watch this. Look at this. I dash back. Actually, not late. I'm early. I'm too fast. If I had paused a little bit, she would have blocked. I went a little bit too fast in a panic. And my special 1 hits into her face instead. And I'm taking down. I'm basically dead. And surprisingly, basically, but not actually dead. I end up at 1%. And with the striker and also hitting into block, because she finally decides to block, I get a little bit out of the corner. She throws a special. I don't really want to dex it up close, even though it would save me spacing because I'm not that confident. And she almost puts me back in the wall, and I'm like, okay. I still can maybe save this fight. I need to play perfect. I need to make sure she's blocking, and I need to get out of the corner. And again, she finally dashes back and blocks. Okay. Here we go. She dashes back. I do the light to make sure because a debuff will probably kill me. I do make a mistake here, I believe, at some point. And I do that. And I do that. Almost down. Here's the mistake. I thought that she was blocking and I accidentally hit her. I think I would have been okay from the debuff, but yeah, not great. And again, we dash back, dash in, okay. And accidentally parry there. I was really scared on that accidental parry because I thought that that would cause her to rush at me after and lose my spacing, and I clutch it up. That was one of the hardest fights I've ever done in terms of the AI. I did not play perfect. I'm not trying to say that I did, but that AI was really bad, and I'm happy that I got out of it. Okay, last fight of the war is a Mysterio on Polka. Taken this fight many times. PS1 for the precision. It's even a rank 1 unawakened. Like, there's really not that much to this fight. You'll see that there's nothing spectacular about this gameplay, and it just doesn't matter. So I put the slow up, then I get the Fury, then I drop the special 1. I now have Fury, crit, and slow, which means that I can't miss, and it also means the tactic is off. Okay. And he's a little bit mean with that, so I take some brute force, block all the special. All right. Again, I can just completely ignore that damage back as long as I have the debuffs up. Perfect, nothing happened. And yeah, as you can see, literally there's just nothing to this fight. It's a potato fight. And I want to bait this out from him, so there we go. I can actually get a little bit of healing from this. All right. He's being a little bit weird with that, so I just have to get that heavy out from him. A little bit of an odd AI, just kind of standing there a little bit. There we do the dash back into medium. Okay. There I can punch the heavy. And yeah, again, this fight has literally nothing to it. It's just playing the game, just hitting the defender. And here he's being a little bit weird. I shouldn't have held the block or held the block there. It was a little bit too solid of a block. I should have been a little farther away and open. But anyway, there we go. I need one more opening probably, and then he's dead or close to it. And yeah, this combo ends up killing him. So a war without dying, which is always good. I got revenge on a fight, and I managed to scrape by the skin of my teeth on a Valk fight.